single swallow does not make a summer. The proverb wisely reminds us of the fundamental strength found in unity, a truth that resonates deeply within the tapestry of human experience. Yet, in this multifaceted world, particularly within the intricate dynamics between women, we can sometimes find ourselves ensnared by the subtle yet pervasive traps of comparison and competition. Have you ever observed those hushed whispers that carry a hint of judgment? The subtle yet piercing glances that seem to dissect and evaluate? Or even those veiled acts of sabotage, often fueled by perceived differences in appearance, talent, or the elusive measure of success? It begs the question, is this cycle of rivalry the authentic path we desire to tread? The lens through which we wish to perceive our fellow women and, ultimately, ourselves? This video endeavors to delve into a more profound understanding, to illuminate a fundamental truth that often lies obscured. Women are not meant to be double-edged swords, inflicting wounds upon one another, but rather extended hands, offering unwavering support and actively uplifting each other as we navigate the shared, yet often challenging journey of life. 1. The reality and ramifications of negative competition. It's a sobering reality that the portrayal of women entangled in petty rivalries is far from a relic of the past. It unfortunately persists as a discernible and often damaging pattern in contemporary society across the globe. This isn't merely anecdotal. Research and countless personal experiences paint a consistent picture of subtle and overt competition that can hinder individual growth and fracture the collective strength of women. From the seemingly innocuous, yet often insidious silent battles waged on social media, platforms for the fleeting validation of likes, comments, and followers, a digital arena where curated perfection often fuels comparison and envy, to the more palpable and consequential workplace skirmishes, where ambition can be twisted into a desperate and sometimes unethical grab for attention, recognition, or a coveted promotion. We frequently witness these modern-day catfights unfolding across diverse arenas. These aren't isolated incidents. They represent a systemic issue that permeates various aspects of women's lives. One might observe the almost palpable daggers-drawn glances directed towards a colleague whose achievements shine a little too brightly. For instance, imagine a scenario in a marketing firm where Sarah just landed a major client, bringing significant revenue to the company. Instead of genuine congratulations, her female colleagues might exchange subtle, envious glances, their body language betraying resentment rather than support. This silent disapproval can create a tense and uncomfortable atmosphere, hindering future collaboration. Then there's the emergence of fair-weather friends, who subtly undermine another's efforts through carefully crafted words delivered with a veneer of concern or through strategic omissions of crucial information. Consider Emily, a talented graphic designer working on a team project. Her colleague, Jessica, feeling threatened by Emily's skills, might forget to include Emily in important email threads or subtly criticize her design choices to the team leader, all while maintaining a friendly facade. Even more damaging are the deployment of below-the-belt tactics, those underhanded maneuvers such as spreading rumors or taking credit for another's work, specifically designed to diminish someone else's hard-earned accomplishments and elevate oneself at their expense. A stark example could be in academia, where two female researchers are vying for the same grant. One might anonymously leak damaging and potentially false information about the other's research ethics to the funding committee, a desperate act to sabotage her competitor's chances. The repercussions of this pervasive negative competition ripple far beyond the realm of individual hurt feelings and bruised egos. It cultivates an atmosphere of deep-seated suspicion and mistrust, eroding the very foundations upon which supportive and collaborative female relationships could be built. This constant undercurrent of potential betrayal creates irreparable cracks in these bonds, ultimately leaving individuals feeling profoundly isolated and adrift within their own gender, questioning the motives and sincerity of those around them. Consider, for instance, the well-documented cases of intense rivalry between female executives in traditionally male-dominated industries like finance or technology, often fueled by the scarcity of top leadership positions perceived as a limited pie. This competition can lead to a toxic and unproductive environment where collaboration is stifled, Mentorship opportunities are rare, and innovation suffers as individuals prioritize self-promotion over collective success. Instead of fostering a supportive ecosystem where women can rise together, this competitive dynamic creates a survival of the fittest mentality that ultimately harms overall progress. A real-world example could be the historical accounts of female CEOs in the early days of corporate leadership, where a scarcity mindset sometimes led to a reluctance to mentor other women, fearing they would become rivals for their limited positions. Furthermore, as highlighted by the compelling findings of the Catalyst Research Group and numerous other studies on workplace dynamics, work environments characterized by intense internal competition among women frequently experience demonstrably lower levels of overall productivity, decreased employee morale, and alarmingly higher rates of female employee turnover. This is a significant loss for organizations as valuable talent and diverse perspectives are lost due to a culture that fosters division rather than unity. For example, a study on female entrepreneurs found that those who reported experiencing more competition from other women in their industry also reported lower levels of business growth and satisfaction compared to those who experienced a more collaborative environment. Instead of harnessing their collective power, diverse skills, and unique perspectives to move mountains of progress and innovation, valuable energy and precious time are tragically squandered on unproductive dog-eat-dog scenarios, significantly hindering collective advancement and perpetuating a detrimental cycle of mistrust and division that ultimately benefits no one. 2. The strength of solidarity. In stark contrast to the inherently limited and often destructive zero-sum game of negative competition, the principle of solidarity among women unlocks a profound and multifaceted power rooted in synergy and mutual empowerment. This isn't about a naive expectation of unwavering, unquestioning agreement or a dismissal of the importance of individual drive and effort. Instead, genuine solidarity manifests as a conscious and active commitment to working collaboratively towards shared aspirations and overarching goals, standing shoulder to shoulder in the face of challenges and offering unwavering support in the pursuit of collective advancement. When a woman encounters adversity, whether it's navigating a professional setback, grappling with personal struggles, or facing systemic barriers, a sincere word of encouragement, a practical act of assistance, or even just the unwavering presence of a supportive peer can be a true lifesaver, providing the emotional and tangible resources needed to persevere. Think of the countless stories of successful female entrepreneurs who, having navigated the often treacherous landscape of business, actively dedicate their time and expertise to mentor and pave the way for younger women aspiring to build their own ventures. They understand that another woman's success doesn't diminish their own. Rather, it strengthens the entire ecosystem. For example, the story of Madam C.J. Walker, a pioneering African-American businesswoman, is not just one of individual triumph, but also of lifting other Black women by providing them with economic opportunities and training. Her success became a catalyst for the empowerment of an entire community. Consider, too, the vital role played by tight-knit circles of female friends who serve as unwavering pillars of strength for each other during life's inevitable difficult phases. Whether it's navigating a career transition, coping with loss, or raising a family, these bonds of sisterhood provide a safe and understanding space for vulnerability, shared experiences, and mutual support. These are the individuals who will go to bat for you without hesitation, offering a listening ear, practical help, and unwavering emotional fortitude. The power of these informal networks cannot be overstated. They are the anchors that keep women grounded amidst life's storms. Furthermore, compelling research from institutions like the University of Michigan has consistently indicated that women who cultivate and maintain strong support networks composed of other women often experience demonstrably greater career success, higher levels of overall life satisfaction, and improved well-being. This isn't merely correlational. These networks provide tangible benefits. They offer access to invaluable information, diverse perspectives, and crucial connections that can open doors to opportunities that might otherwise remain inaccessible. Moreover, the emotional validation and sense of belonging derived from these supportive relationships contribute significantly to a woman's confidence and resilience. This is because they are not alone on their path. They have a dedicated cohort of allies ready to share the joys and bear the sorrows. navigating the often rough seas of professional and personal life together, providing a crucial sense of camaraderie and shared understanding that can be difficult to find elsewhere. A compelling and widely recognized example of this principle in action is the Lean-In Circles, inspired by Sheryl Sandberg's influential book. These small peer groups provide structured platforms for women to connect on a regular basis, share their experiences, offer mutual support, and learn from one another in their professional lives. The very premise of these circles is to foster a culture of collective growth rather than individual rivalry, recognizing that by supporting each other's ambitions and challenges, all participants stand to benefit. Members offer advice on career advancement, provide encouragement during setbacks, and celebrate each other's successes, creating a powerful network of solidarity that transcends individual competition. The impact of these circles globally demonstrates the tangible benefits of women actively choosing to uplift and support one another, proving that a rising tide lifts all boats. Moreover, the strength of solidarity extends beyond individual relationships and peer groups. It manifests in broader movements and organizations dedicated to advancing women's rights and opportunities. Think of the collective power of women's suffrage movements throughout history, where women from diverse backgrounds united to fight for their fundamental right to vote. Their unwavering solidarity, despite facing immense opposition, ultimately led to transformative societal change. Similarly, contemporary organizations focused on issues like gender equality in the workplace, combating gender-based violence, and promoting women's leadership rely heavily on the collective action and mutual support of women across different sectors and geographies. These movements demonstrate that when women come together with a shared purpose, they become an unstoppable force for progress, proving that unity is strength. In essence, the strength of solidarity lies in the understanding that women are not operating in a finite arena, where one's success necessitates another's failure. Instead, by fostering a culture of mutual support, mentorship, and collaboration, women can collectively break down systemic barriers, challenge ingrained biases, and create a more equitable and empowering landscape for all. It's about recognizing that many hands make light work, and that by lifting each other up, we not only achieve individual success, but also contribute to the advancement and empowerment of women as a whole, creating a legacy of strength and resilience for future generations. 3. Cultivating a culture of support. The journey towards building a truly powerful and positive community of women necessitates a fundamental shift that begins within the individual. Each of us holds the key to dismantling the ingrained patterns of competition and fostering a culture of genuine support. Instead of instinctively resorting to the retaliatory mindset of an eye for an eye, a cycle that only perpetuates negativity and division, we can consciously choose to turn the other cheek, approaching interactions with understanding, empathy, and a willingness to see beyond surface-level differences. This doesn't imply condoning harmful behavior, but rather choosing a response rooted in compassion rather than aggression, aiming to break the cycle of negativity. When we witness the success of another woman, a natural human tendency might be to feel a pang of green with envy, especially in societies that often condition us to compare and measure ourselves against others. However, a conscious cultivation of a supportive mindset allows us to reframe this perspective. We can actively choose to celebrate her achievements not as a personal deficit, but rather as a collective victory for all women, recognizing that her success can inspire and pave the way for others. The shift from scarcity to abundance mentality is crucial in fostering a supportive ecosystem. Furthermore, active listening, devoid of judgment and preconceived notions, forms the bedrock of supportive relationships. When a fellow woman shares her experiences, challenges, or aspirations, offering a truly attentive ear creates a safe space for vulnerability and fosters genuine connection. Coupled with this is the power of constructive feedback delivered with kindness and a genuine desire to help. Instead of tearing down, we can offer insights and suggestions that empower growth and development. And perhaps most importantly, actively championing each other's strengths, publicly acknowledging and celebrating the unique talents and contributions of our female peers, can create a powerful ripple effect of confidence and mutual respect. It's about becoming each other's advocates and cheerleaders. Organizations like the myriad Women in Tech initiatives that have sprung up across the globe serve as shining examples of this principle in action. Recognizing the historical underrepresentation of women in STEM fields, these initiatives actively cultivate a culture of support through tangible programs. They establish mentorship programs that pair experienced female professionals with those just starting their careers, providing invaluable guidance and support. Networking events create platforms for women to connect, share knowledge, build relationships, and find solidarity in their shared experiences. By consciously creating platforms for women to share their knowledge, experiences, and opportunities, these initiatives effectively embody the adage of lifting as they climb, fostering a collaborative environment where everyone benefits from collective growth. Moreover, cultivating a culture of support requires us to actively challenge the often insidious societal stereotypes that are designed to pit women against each other. These stereotypes, perpetuated through media and cultural norms, often portray women as inherently competitive, catty, and incapable of genuine collaboration. We must consciously reject these harmful narratives and actively choose to be bridges, not walls, in our interactions with other women. This involves consciously seeking common ground, fostering understanding across differences, and actively working to dismantle the barriers that these stereotypes create. By consciously fostering environments where vulnerability is met with compassion rather than criticism, and where ambition is met with encouragement rather than suspicion, we can collectively dismantle the outdated and limiting notion that there's only room at the top for a select few. True empowerment lies not in individual dominance, but in the collective rise of all women. This requires a conscious and continuous effort to cultivate empathy, practice active support, and challenge the ingrained societal narratives that hinder genuine female solidarity. It's about recognizing that our collective strength far outweighs any perceived benefit of individual competition, and that by lifting each other, we all rise higher. Conclusion: in the final analysis, the persistent narrative that casts women as inherently constant competitors is not only a damaging and limiting stereotype, but also an increasingly outdated trope that fails to recognize the immense potential unlocked through genuine solidarity. As the profound African proverb wisely states, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. This simple yet powerful wisdom encapsulates the very essence of why choosing solidarity over the often illusory gains of rivalry is not just a morally sound choice, but a strategically advantageous one for the collective advancement of women across all spheres of life. By consciously and actively choosing solidarity, we unlock a powerful and transformative force that transcends individual limitations and fosters collective growth. This isn't about a utopian ideal where all disagreements vanish, but rather a commitment to prioritizing mutual support, understanding, and collaboration over the destructive impulses of envy and competition. It's about recognizing that another woman's success does not inherently diminish our own potential. In fact, it often serves as an inspiration and a testament to what is possible. Let us commit, individually and collectively, to being the women who consistently offer a helping hand rather than a hindrance to our fellow sisters. This involves actively seeking opportunities to support, mentor, and uplift other women, sharing our knowledge, resources, and experiences without reservation. It means consciously refraining from engaging in gossip, backbiting, or any form of behavior that undermines another woman's confidence or progress. Instead, let our actions be guided by a spirit of generosity and a genuine desire to see others succeed. Furthermore, let us cultivate a mindset where we wholeheartedly celebrate each other's triumphs as if they were our own victories. This requires consciously shifting our perspective away from scarcity and embracing an abundance mentality, recognizing that when one woman rises, she often creates opportunities and inspires others to do the same. Imagine a scenario where a female scientist makes a groundbreaking discovery. Instead of professional jealousy, her female colleagues rally around her, amplifying her achievement and using it as a platform to advocate for greater representation of women in STEM. This collective celebration not only validates the individual's hard work, but also strengthens the collective voice and influence of women in the field. Ultimately, true and lasting strength does not reside in individual dominance or the relentless pursuit of a solitary peak. Instead, it is found in the collective rise of all women, where diverse talents, perspectives, and experiences converge to create a powerful and resilient force for positive change. When we operate from a place of solidarity, we build a supportive ecosystem where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, breaking down systemic barriers and challenging ingrained biases more effectively than any individual could alone. Think of the impact of women's cooperatives in developing nations, where collective effort and shared resources empower women economically and socially in ways that individual efforts often cannot. Let us actively and intentionally cultivate a world where sisters genuinely support sisters, where collaboration triumphs over competition, and where the success of one is seen as a victory for all. By embracing this ethos, we will create a lasting legacy of empowerment and shared success for generations of women to come, building a future where the collective strength and unwavering support of women become the norm, rather than the exception. This is not just a dream. It is a tangible reality that we can actively build, one supportive interaction, one shared success, and one act of solidarity at a time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.